Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday, January 20th. A clipper system is dropping through the northern plains today, and it will arrive in the mid-Atlantic region on Wednesday. We warned about the possibility of this clipper system intensifying as it reaches the warmer waters of the Atlantic Ocean. Indeed, it looks like it will take on some intensification tomorrow and grab some Atlantic moisture. This could enhance snowfall amounts in areas to the south and east in the mid-Atlantic region, places like across the Delmarva Peninsula, across to southern New Jersey, and perhaps up into central New Jersey. If there has been any kind of a subtle change in the overnight computer forecast models, it's that now the accumulating snow threat has shifted southward somewhat, certainly into the northern and western suburbs of D.C. There can be some accumulations on Wednesday, perhaps even into the district on the order of a coating to a couple of inches. That threat for a coating to a couple of inches extends northward across the Philadelphia metro region and its northern and western suburbs also. And again, there can be even higher amounts, 3-4 inches possible across the Delmarva Peninsula and in southern New Jersey as this clipper system intensifies on Wednesday near the coastline. The snow threat has diminished somewhat up across the New York City region, perhaps on the order of a coating to an inch or so can be expected in that area, as again the main area seems to have shifted southward across eastern Pennsylvania, central and southern New Jersey, Delmarva Peninsula, Philadelphia metro region on down to especially the northern and western suburbs of the D.C. metro region. Let's take a look at the GFS model run from last night. This is all from the 0Z model run. This is actually the 12-hour forecast from last night, 0Z for this morning. Basically what is occurring right now, there is a little bit of moisture out ahead of the main clipper system. The main clipper system lies back here over the northern plains. Again, we talked about how there's limited moisture available to a clipper system dropping across the northern plains. There is simply no large body of water for it to grab some moisture, moisture from. But as this reaches the coastline tomorrow, it will suddenly intensify and grab some additional moisture off the Atlantic Ocean, and that is a red flag for areas, especially across the Delmarva Peninsula and New Jersey. This area out ahead of the main clipper system could throw a rain or snow shower our way late today, anytime tonight, but the main action here with the clipper will be on Wednesday. Well, here's the forecast map for early this evening. Again, the main clipper way out here over the northern plains. A little bit of an isobar right here. That's the central low pressure area right in this region, according to last night's GFS over Minnesota. Again, limited moisture contents. And again, there can be a sprinkle or a snow flurry way out ahead of the clipper system anytime late today, anytime overnight tonight. But the main action with the clipper will be occurring on Wednesday. Well, here's the forecast map for tomorrow morning, and precipitation just starting to arrive tomorrow morning into the D.C. metro region. A little low pressure area depicted here by last night's GFS over the Ohio Valley. There can certainly be some rain mixed in at the onset in the D.C. metro region, and even in the Philadelphia region from Philly south and east there can be some rain mixed in at the onset. But I think ultimately this will primarily be a snow event in the suburban areas of D.C. and Philadelphia. And again, some accumulating snow can occur all the way down into the D.C. metro region. Let's now jump ahead 12 hours to tomorrow evening forecast map. And here we go. By tomorrow evening, low pressure intensifying slightly as it reaches the warmer waters. And again, there's some very warm water right here in the western Atlantic, just off the northeast mid-Atlantic coastline. And look at this precipitation. All of a sudden, it dumps out a fair amount over the Delmarva Peninsula and southern part of New Jersey, central New Jersey, maybe even into southeastern Pennsylvania as this low does intensify and grabs a little bit of moisture off the Atlantic Ocean. Again, a moisture-starved system out in this region out here. Simply no large body of water to tap into, but with intensification at the coastline, clipper systems can suddenly surprise near the coastline with a sudden influx of moisture in the cold air, and we've got to watch out for some enhanced snowfall tomorrow, especially across Delmarva Peninsula and southern part of New Jersey. Let's now jump ahead another 12 hours. And here's the forecast map for Thursday morning. By this time, All the precipitation is over with here in the I-95 corridor from D.C. to Philly to New York City. That Clipper system continues to intensify, but it moves rather on an eastward trajectory and perhaps east-northeast rather than up the coast. So New England will not get hit by this Clipper system. And again, New York City will be what appears to be on the northern fringes now of the best snowfall. Right now, the greatest snowfall chance looks like maybe just in the north and west of D.C., across the Delmarva Peninsula, southern New Jersey, and across much of eastern Pennsylvania and the Philly metro region to just south and west of New York City. This could end up being the best snowfall, accumulating snowfall region on Wednesday. The morning commute looks okay in Philadelphia. The evening commute certainly can be impacted by the snowfall. The precipitation arrives perhaps in time for the morning commute in the D.C. metro region. However, it'll start off as a mixed bag, so probably not a big problem in the morning, but we'll have to watch that. It's a close call. Again, the snow should arrive later in the day, certainly late morning, midday hours in New York City, so the morning commute up across New York City should be without any problem due to the weather. Well, here's a quick look at the upper air pattern forecasted by last night's GFS model run, and here's that upper level low associated with this developing Clipper system as of early this evening. Again, a northwesterly flow typical for Clipper systems that get their origin out across southwestern Canada, drop southeast in an overall northwesterly flow in the upper part of the atmosphere. Let's jump ahead another 12 hours. By tomorrow morning, continuation of this whole pattern to drop the upper level south and east. Again, at this time, low pressure will be just reaching the mid-Atlantic coastline at the surface here, and it will intensify somewhat as it reaches those warmer waters of the Atlantic Ocean. Another 12 hours. Let's take a look at the 500 millibar forecast map. And here we go. This is for tomorrow evening. By this time, all that energy in the upper part of the atmosphere is sitting right on top of the mid-Atlantic region. Again, by this time, surface low off the mid-Atlantic coastline and intensifying somewhat as it starts to pull away to the east-northeast rather than up the coast. Here will not be a New England storm, but rather pulling off the east coast on a basic west to east or perhaps to the east-northeast during the day on Wednesday. Finally, this is the total precipitation forecast from the GFS for this upcoming event. We talked again yesterday about a narrow stripe of precipitation associated with Clipper systems. The big change in the overnight hours as far as computer models go is this area of moisture dropped to the south here, and again it looks like the accumulating snow threat has indeed dropped southward into the D.C. metro region, especially in the northern western side of the D.C. area. Again, even some blues here showing up as this surface low pressure area intensifies upon reaching the warmer waters of the Atlantic Ocean. So a Clipper system on Wednesday certainly can provide some accumulating snow to parts of the I-95 corridor. This looks like the beginning of an active period. There are a couple of other upcoming storm threats, one over the weekend and another one over during the early part of next week. Those will be more of the coastal variety and certainly can present even bigger problems, but it's still way too early to get specific with that. But again, a couple of other storm threats coming beyond this one this weekend and one during the early part of next week. Stay tuned to VencoreWeather.com for any updates later today. That's it for now.